rise of Aerys II Targaryen to the Iron Throne in 262 AC was not just the rise of a new young king, but also of a new generation of young lords whom would rule the realm alongside Aerys. Of all of these men, arguably the most important and vital was the young Tywin Lannister, the king's closest friend, and arguably a man who would leave as big of a mark on the history of Westeros as Aerys himself. When maesters say making Tywin the hand of the king was the wisest thing Aerys ever did, they do not lie. Despite Tywin's role in events to come in the downfall of House Targaryen, you cannot deny the young heir to Casterly Rock was among the best men to ever take the role of Hand of the King, and a case could be put forward that he was in fact the best, given the scale of the impact he would have on the Seven Kingdoms, even after the downfall of House Targaryen. Tywin was born in the year 242 AC to Lord Tytos Lannister and his lady wife Jane Marbrand. Being the eldest son of Tytos, Tywin was the heir to Casterly Rock. As a young man, he was described as tall, slender, broad-shouldered, with the golden hair and green eyes typical of House Lannister. Once he began to age, Tywin would keep his golden hair shaved, since he had started to go bald, but instead he grew out a bushy golden side whiskers. However, in his youth, it is known he had thick, long, golden hair, and when he started to lose his hair is not entirely clear. Even as a young man, Tywin was calculating, intelligent, politically astute, and ruthless. He would dedicate his life and efforts towards maintaining the Lannisters' prestige and ensuring House Lannister was respected, or at least feared, something that had become lessened under the rule of his father, Tytos. Tywin was made a knight at a young age and became tested and proven in battle during the War of the Nine Penny Kings. While many lords would tend to lead their men from the front line, Tywin prefers to lead from the rear to better coordinate his men. On the battlefield, it is said he had a powerful presence combined with an intimidating gaze. When Lord Tytos agreed to marry his daughter, Tywin's sister, Jenna, to Aemon Frey, the second son of Lord Walder Frey, just to please the Lord of the Crossing to gain his favour, it very much angered Tywin. The betrothal was announced at a feast in 252 AC, with most of the Western lords in attendance. Upon the announcement, Lord Roger Reyne left the hall and Ellen Reyne laughed aloud at such a poor match for Lord Tytos' daughter, but only the 10-year-old Tywin spoke out against the wedding because he thought it an uneven match. Shortly after the incident, Tytos sent Tywin to King's Landing to serve as a royal page and cupbearer at King Aegon V Targaryen's court, where Tywin would go on to befriend the young Prince Aerys Targaryen and Steffon Baratheon, the heir to Storm's End. His cousin, Joanna Lannister, Tywin's future wife, also served at the royal court as a companion and lady-in-waiting to Princess Rhaella Targaryen since the year 259 AC. During the War of the Nine Penny Kings in 260 AC, 11,000 Westermen were under the command of Tywin's uncle, Sir Jason Lannister, and were sent to fight beside the other forces of the Iron Throne in the Stepstones. Tywin, who was already a knight, joined the Lannister forces, as did his brothers Kevin and Tyget as squires. It is said that Tywin served with valour during the war, impressing many men his senior, winning him the respect of countless lords and knights who took part in the defence of the realm. The young Prince Aerys served as a squire during the war, and when he won his knighthood, Tywin was granted the great honour of knighting his friend. After Tywin returned home from the Stepstones, since his father, Lord Tytos, was a weak ruler who was taken advantage of by his bannermen, Tywin and his brothers set out to restore the prestige of House Lannister that had slowly been eroded away. Tytos protested feebly before returning to his mistress. Tywin demanded repayment of gold his father had lent out brazenly to many of his bannermen, big and small, and those who could not repay immediately had to send a hostage to Casterly Rock until their debt was settled. Sir Kevin Lannister was given command of 500 veteran knights from the Stepstones and tasked with ridding the Westerlands of robber knights and outlaws. Sir Harys Swift, the Knight of the Cornfield, surrendered his daughter Dorna to Kevan's custody, but Roger Reyne, Lord of Castamere, reportedly laughed at Tywin's edict. When Lord Walderin Tarbeck of Tarbeck Hall rode to confront Tytos, who was not present at Casterly Rock, the young Tywin ordered Walderan imprisoned for disloyalty. Walderin's wife, Ellen Reyne, responded by seizing Tywin's cousin Stafford and 2 Lannisters of Lannisport. Lord Tytos ordered the hostages be exchanged and forgave House Tarbeck's debt to House Lannister, directly undermining Tywin's attempts to restore respect to the Lannister name. Late in the year 261 AC, Tywin provoked House Reyne and Tarbeck by ordering that Roger Reyne and Walderin Tarbeck appear Casterly Rock to answer for their crimes. When the accused instead renounced their allegiances to House Lannister, Tywin would raise an army without his lordly father's leave, a bold move by such a young man, and would be seen as a statement for intent of the kind of person Tywin would grow into in years to come. Tywin defeated Walderin in battle, and then destroyed Tarbeck Hall, the seat of House Tarbeck, with Ellen Reyne dying during Tarbeck Hall's collapse. Tywin then went on to defeat Roger Reyne, who would flee back to his seat of Castamere. Instead of waiting for the subterranean castle to surrender after a long siege, Tywin ended the Reyne Tarbeck revolt by diverting a nearby stream into Castamere directly, drowning the entirety of House Reyne within, in arguably an act that Tywin will forever be known for. But it did restore the feared reputation of House Lannister, and meant there would be true consequences for crossing Tywin, as the young heir to Casterly Rock destroyed these ancient houses root and stem in the blink of an eye. The ruined castles were ordered to be left as reminders of the fate that awaited those who scorned the power of Casterly Rock and House Lannister. The famous song, The Reynes of Castamere, was written as a tribute to the event. When Lord Farman of Faircastle began to cause issues for Tywin years later, Tywin had an envoy perform the song with a lute. Suddenly, Lord Farman caused no further trouble after hearing the message. When his friend, Aerys Targaryen, suddenly found himself king after the early death of King Aerys II in 262 AC, impressed at the way Tywin had handled the Reyne Tarbeck revolt, King Aerys summoned the heir to the rock to King's Landing, naming him the Hand of the King, the youngest in history at only 20 years of age, and with that, events were put in motion that could never be undone.